Very professional environment here, live at the ASUS ROG DreamLeague in Jönköping at DreamHack Summer. And we're here. We watched the first game of our first best of 3, Navi versus Burden, and I mean, at some point that game just started to get slightly painful to watch because I don't know at that point what could Burden have done against the push that Navi brought.
I honestly don't think there was much. There's a few team fights that went kind of their way. You know, it was looking that well, and you could see mid. There was a fight when they chased, and they're like, okay, we have to punish them. They're on the back foot now. This is when we can kind of get a bit of breather and relax. But every single team fight just went Navi's way. Like they had the house and the ward and 5 heroes. How do you kill all?
I think that's the type of game where Burden United, they have to either get a couple more successful ganks early, or they need to just win one good fight earlier in the game so that they get toward their BKBs. Draskell was talking about it. The Leshrac went for a Bloodstone this game. It's very tempting to do. It's a good farming item, etc., etc. But it does have its weaknesses when you're playing against a Pugna in particular. Yeah. He didn't really get to cast that many spells before he ultimately just ended up dying.
He just melted.
So I think BKB is definitely the way to go. In addition to that, maybe, I don't know, I feel like the draft was actually okay. The odd one out for me may be the Bane doesn't really contribute that much in these kind of just very clustered fights. You want to have either some better bursts than just a brain sap, or you want to have more AoE to bring to the table.
I think they picked him to try and secure the game earlier at the start. You know, like combo up with that Leshrac. They got a good kill on Puck in mid. You know, it was going okay, but like it was just unstoppable. Like Navi's push was just, it was so powerful. They had so much healing, so much sustain. I don't know, it was just a very difficult game.
And AA was actually a good pick. Like imagine without AA. They would run over this game.
Very true.
So, but you're saying it wasn't an outdraft. This was purely outplay.
I think it was an outdraft too.
Oh, still,
I
okay.
definitely think so. Yeah. We were talking about what Burden could have done with the heroes they had.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think draft-wise, they should have probably taken a little bit of a different direction, but it's very difficult. I feel like the Undying Pugna opener is very strong. It gives a lot of information away. And then you have to just find a way of countering it immediately in that draft.
Yeah, the second you saw it, you were like, okay, Navi won. Like you just instantly said that. You're like, okay.
Yeah, it's just such a powerful combo. You can decrepify the Tombstone. Undying can heal up the Pugna, who generally gets targeted a lot. You have your own life drain. I think the AA was a really, really good pick, like I mentioned. Actually kept them in the game. But you also just got the feeling that Navi, like, they knew they were really far ahead, and they almost got cocky. Like they would get caught by 5-man ice blasts, and they would actually just get hit by a call down with 4 heroes too, and Leshrac, the lightning would bounce, and they would still win the fight.
Yeah, the early pipe on Funnick was just like so powerful.
Yeah, like you imagine, I feel like Navi are obviously going to be happy they won that game, but to be honest, I think their pushes were fairly sloppy in some situations where the fights looked like they were going to go Burden's way, and some of them did a little bit. Yeah. And I think if they play a perfect push, they barely even lose a hero after minute 15 or something. So definitely room for improvement. I don't think they're getting the heroes again.
There were a couple of sloppy fights. There was one that wasn't very sloppy, that was actually very on point, and I believe that Shane has selected that fight to show on the drawing board. So it is time for Shane Analytics.
Welcome to the drawing board. So sometimes, come on, you can be in this shot, it's fine. So sometimes it's kind of like, it's hard to pick fights, you know, there's lots of fights, but this one in particular was quite kind of swift and painful. So let's have a look at this. It's basically, you know, you have the Tombstone and you have the ward, which is going to be at the back. And you're kind of in a position as Burden to kind of get up and try and kill them. But that leaves, okay, so this was just beautiful. Can we just slow it down? Oh my God. Can we just go back and then play it again? Scriff? No, he's not going back. Okay.
It was so on point though.
4-man vacuum, Wyvern ult, and then the AoE damage follow-up. They don't even have a Tombstone here. Like the Tombstone was actually destroyed before the fight.
That's the reason they were in that position, because they have to get up and try and kill the Tombstone.
Exactly.
And Dream Coil is, of course, also pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good spell as well. I mean, that was, I mean, you talked about sloppy fights. This was just when them all coming together and actually, you know, for me, at that point, it was like, okay, game. Obviously, before that, it was already pretty convincing as well, but that moment's like, okay, you can call it now.
Yeah, it's like everything went so perfectly for you, and It was just an awesome. Like I love watching stuff like that in Dota. You know, when spells come together.
Yeah.
You should make a YouTube series out of that.
Spells come together.
Yeah. I'll take
I think it's called
50%.
Symphony of Skills.
No, never heard of it.
So spells come together, and then that can be a series next to your reviewing drinks series.
Oh yeah. The Cinder and Drinks review is gonna be massive. I'm telling you. We were having lunch yesterday, and he sells it. You know what I mean?
Flatterboomsaft. I know it now. I've never drank it before, but
I just want to drink it. I don't know why.
Flatterboomsaft.
But you can't.
I can't.
That's unfortunate.
No. No. It's really mean. I'll still watch your series though.
That's all right.
It's the most refreshing drink.
Transition. Transition out of the fever.
Sorry.
Sometimes we just keep going.
Okay, no. We just saw Burden not having a great game against Navi. What are they gonna need to do better to actually get on top this time?
You suggested banning Undying, right? So they don't play that strat again, or was it? Well, regardless, whoever suggested it, I think it's a pretty good approach. So either you ban Undying and force a different type of game, or if you give Undying away, you have a clearer plan of what exactly you want to do to deal with it.
I think even taking command in the draft earlier, because it seemed like in this draft, Navi just had total control. You know what I mean? Like
I agree.
They have this amazing like opening with their Undying Pugna, and all of a sudden you're kind of panicking to yourself, and you're like, how do we counter this? Like we need to get Gyrocopter, we need these heroes. So maybe you get like maybe Chen, Dragon Knight kind of thing, and maybe do the same thing Navi did to you, like straight back at them. You know, get the push going, just consistently put pressure on them, and do it as a team. Because I think if you try and do these like scrappy fights against Navi, it's always going to be in their favor. You know what I mean?
So you're gonna try to still fight against a team that loves to fight?
No, what I'm saying is go as 5 and just like put the pressure on them so they don't get the core items like Amphonic and that kind of stuff first.
Is there a way to have a hero that might be able to stop Navi from being able to fight?
Like Silencer, like is that what you mean?
Something like that, or something that will force them back. A Centaur was suggested previous game. Centaur would have been great. Just Navi wants to fight. Ooh, we run away.
Yeah.
Buy time for their cores to actually farm up.
This kind of lineup that Navi just ran, I don't think Dota has a hero that just disallows them from fighting.
Or Big Bounty Hunter. And then if you're fighting, at least if you're trading better because you get more gold.
But then you have a bounty hunter, and you can't go in.
I think the only way to beat that lineup is to beat it in the first 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah, either you stop the lanes, or before they start gathering up, you have two. Let's say you don't stop the lanes. Let's say it's an even early game. Then you have two options. Either you trade every single time, or you have a lineup that can hold. And holding is very difficult. I think it's, you know, the usual way you hold towers is you just clear out the waves, like let's say Illuminate, Power Shot, Fissure, whatever, like all these AoE abilities with long range, but it doesn't work against Nether Blast, and the Tombstone is still going to be there and putting pressure, so...
What about a hero like Batrider to try and like pick one off to completely stop the push?
That's a possible way of doing it as well, finding some sort of pick-off potential that forces the fights on your terms,
exactly,
but it is still really difficult. It is possible. This lineup is not unbeatable, but it is very, very hard.
Well, we're going to find out what they're going to draft. Already, I think Burning United got a hero that they're pretty happy with, but there's two guys that can tell you more about that. It is Luminous and Draskell for our second game. Burning United taking on Navi.